Fastest racetrack in Europe. So that's where I took the new McLaren.
Hello, fellow driving enthusiasts. James here. Owing to the unique way we make video games, we are sadly unable to have the McLaren Senna in this episode for now. Apologies for that. As a sort of consolation prize, we're going to go back and look at Hammond driving the equally fantastic McLaren 720S from Season 2. It's a cracker, apart from the Hammond bit.
While the outgoing car may have been great to drive, it was never what you'd call beautiful or even very exciting to look at. But its replacement, well, that's a different matter. It's called the 720S, and from any angle and in every detail, it's simply sensational. Right down to the engine bay that glows red when you unlock the doors.
Yep, on the head turnometer, this thing definitely matches the Ferrari 488 and the Lamborghini Huracan. And then when we move on to the business of speed and power, it actually beats them.
To 60 takes just 2.8 seconds. Top speed is 212 miles an hour. Both those numbers walloping the efforts of the Italians.
Everything is bigger in this car. Even the price, £208,000. Oh wait, that's not a good point, is it? No, that's a... never mind, whatever. The horsepower is... well, it's ridiculous is what it is. This 4-litre V8 with its twin turbos produces 710 of them. To put that into context, the actual mechanical engine in a McLaren P1 without all the hybrid battery boost produces just 17 horsepower more. Net result of that is... staggering! Unleash the beast! Oh, God! fast. Staggering. We're off. God, I'm falling in love a bit here. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, God. Unleash the beast! Brilliant! Taking. Gotta keep the pressure on. Come on, keep going. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my God. Oh, that is fast.
However, although they've gone nuts with the styling and the engine, the 720 is still very much a McLaren.
By that, I mean it's been made by the ultimate tech nerds from the kingdom of geeks. Let me put it this way. This is, like I say, the replacement for the McLaren 650S. And if you ask a McLaren technician, so how much of this car is new then? They will tell you 91%. Not nearly all of it, mate, or about 90%. 91%. James May applied for a job at McLaren, but they turned him down for being too slapdash.
And this incredible geekery has paid dividends. For example, one of the reasons the 720 looks so pretty is because it's the only mid-engine supercar without massive gaping intakes behind the doors. Instead, McLaren created subtle channels along the bodywork to feed air into the engine bay.
More nerd stuff. The old car, the 650, had a carbon fibre tub that came up to here. On the 720, all of that down the centre, everything is carbon fibre. That means these carbon windscreen pillars can be very thin, which makes it easier to see out, and it's light. Overall, they've lost about 18 kilograms up here. That means the centre of gravity is lower, which is good. God, it's the grip! It's staggering. It feels like a four-wheel drive. But if you do want things to get a little more leery, simply dive into the computers and activate variable drift control. It lets you select the angle of dangle for your drift by varying the amount of traction control. I think we'll go for all of it. Lots of drift available. Traction control. I think we'll go for all of it. Lots of drift available. Go, go, go. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, my God. Keep going. Your slide. You can switch back to comfort mode and settle down for a relaxing cruise. That's the thing that stands out about this car. It's everything in one. You want speed, you get speed. You want comfort, you get comfort. You want to lose tyre rubber, help yourself. You want boot space, there's plenty. But the thing I keep coming back to is those looks. Because at last, McLaren's technical perfection has been clothed in a way that does justice to the fizzing brilliance underneath. God, I'm falling in love a bit here. Actually, no, I'll go further. I'm in love. This is utterly brilliant.
Proud to be British for that. We must now get back to our film.
Yes.
Earlier on, we decided that Detroit should be a big sort of petrol head theme park. So we went over there with 3 tuned muscle cars.
Yep, and so far we've staged a drag race, done some donuts, and Jeremy has driven over some vegetables.
And then the next day, we decided that what Detroit really needs is a racetrack.
Yeah, even though it already has 2.
Yes, but we wanted something more earthy. So we headed for the city centre. Having returned to the rundown suburbs, we eventually found the perfect place to build a racetrack. Cadillac's old Connor Avenue factory. For over 60 years, they stamped out the body panels here for icons like the Eldorado, the Fleetwood, and the Coupe de Ville. If it were up to James, this creaking monument to the Motor City's decline would be turned into a shrubbery. But it wasn't up to James. So it would become a Monte Carlo-style tunnel feature on our Detroit-themed racetrack. Because building the track involved heavy machinery and manual labour, Hammond insisted on doing everything himself.
That is going to be a fast corner.
Despite this, though, he soon had everything ready. Because the track had been built by the world's most accident-prone driver, we thought it best that the God-fearing exorcist should christen it.
Here we go. Oh, that's interesting.
James couldn't wait to give Hammond some constructive feedback. Yes, that the God-fearing exorcist should christen it.
Away!
James couldn't wait to give Hammond some constructive feedback.
I just want to say, Hammond, you witless dishcloth. That is the worst racetrack I've ever been round. It's slippery, it's full of holes, it's full of obstacles for you to crash into, it's narrow.
It's challenging, is it? Technical?
It's not challenging, it's only about that much bigger than the car, and it's made of butter. And it appears to be full of asbestos waste.
Oh, it is full of asbestos?
Yeah, I'm sorry about
that. Oh, well,
that.
thank you.
Sorry, close your window.
All of us then set about our practice laps on Hammond's death trap. However, these were just unofficial practice laps. Now it was time for the one-shot winner-takes-all real thing.
In 3, 2, 1, begin! Go.
pooed myself.
Funny noise.
However, the trouser accident had clearly been worth it.
Yep.
I'm happy with that, and I haven't hit any famous musicians or bits of old car factory.
Next, it was the turn of Corporal Crash.
Where's the fire engine gone? I saw
Fire
it
engine's
earlier.
over there. Ambulance is
Oh, we're all comedians today.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, if you lose to James May.
It's more humiliating. It's worse than death.
In 3, 2, 1.
We're off. Oh, for God's sake. Those cars doesn't fit around my own racetrack. What have I done? Oh my God. Leave me alone. Oh no. Oh God. Come on, come on. Watch this. Gotta keep the pressure. Oh, for God's sake. Go, go. Oh my God. Oh, just now. Come on. Come on, keep going. Oh, for God's sake. That felt good. It felt like a quick one.
I don't know how to put this to you, but
No.
yeah. 0.4 of a second slower than James May.
This is what death feels like.
Yep, okay, get out of the demon. We've done the demon and the exorcist. It's time for the blue nun.
Blue nut.
Yeah. Totally pointless waste of time there. We've established the Mustang is the fastest by an enormous margin. But I'll go and do it, I suppose.
Jeremy Smug in My Little Pony, are you ready?
In 3, 2, 1,
God, that looks tricky.
You're running!
I know, but you'll see. Got to get down to this corner.
My Little Pony, are you ready?
In 3, 2, 1.
Go. Come together now. Oh, good. It's quite scary through here. Get the bloody loop on. Keep your foot in it.
You're running!
I know, but you'll see. Got to get down to this corner before he gets back. Help me tip this over.
What is it?
It's organic palm oil, very slippery. It's the revenge of the urban farmer.
Into the blind bend. There is Stevie Wonder.
You do know it's palm oil that's ruining life for the world's orangutan.
Only this one.
Come on, come on. Short shifting into third.
And on that terrible disappointment...
For him.
It's back to the tent.